All right. Welcome back to your favorite comedy finance channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I hope you guys have missed me. I've been watching the charts. I'm very bullish right now. I think we've all been waiting for this moment. Now, granted, the plebs are going to be weeping, but unfortunately, as many times as investors pretend not to want inflation, you love inflation and you want inflation because the mainstream media has constantly, and I don't know if it's deliberately, I think so. They miseducate the masses by saying, "Oh, inflation, it's going up, it's going up." But what we've been experiencing all last year was actually a deflationary dollar, and a deflationary dollar is when I guess let's say quote unquote the tokenomics of the dollar starts to compress and it goes up in value, weighing asset prices down. And you'll see a lot of volatility because of that. You'll see a lot of asset classes start to drain out in value. But what you're actually watching is the price of assets go down because your buying power is increasing. So that's something that you guys got to really understand. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the crypto kids out there are parrots. They're going to hear whatever the mainstream media says and they parrot each other, misinforming and miseducating each other along with you guys, the viewers, because they don't really know what they're talking about. They actually have the definitions of deflation and inflation inversed. It's kind of really, really strange the way everything is happening. And what's funny is whenever I talk to people about this, they always say the same things to me. Like they'll say, well, why would everybody do this? Why are they talking this way? Well, first off, the media is state-ran propaganda. Whenever you're watching the news, it's propaganda. Whenever you're watching the news, it's more along the lines of a commercial than anything, okay? And again, look, it's not financial advice. You guys make your own bets. I'm going to make my own bet. It's every man for himself. It's rug or be rugged. Don't ever forget. Now, I do want to say that inflation, when it goes up, that means that your dollar or your buying power is going down, which means that asset prices are going to cost more money, which means if you're an investor and you're holding on to assets, those assets are going to hedge and also scale in value because of the loss in buying power. And I don't know if you guys were paying attention on my last video, but my last video, what did I say? Every bear is going to be massacred. Every bear was going to be massacred. And that was just under 20,000 Bitcoin. I told everybody, I'm telling you, you're holding the bomb. And you're going to say, I'm waiting on that dip. I'm waiting on that dip. And guess what? You're the dip. You're holding the bomb, the debt bomb, the fiat currency debt bomb. And when the debt bomb explodes, when the banks explode, US default happens. What are recessions? Recessions are defaults. Recessions are repossessions, credit card default, foreclosures, unemployment. All of these things transcend into debt or credit not being serviced, which is blows against the dollar. And in mass, this is going to impact the dollar value. Now, what's happening though is a catch-22, because what's happening is the dollar right now is at about 103.12. And you're thinking, why is the dollar value going up? And we're in the middle of a recession, or watching banks collapse. We're hearing about the $2 trillion worth of liquidity that's going to be injected into the US dollar circulation. What gives? It hasn't happened yet. We're right there. They're going to, well, they have been injecting liquidity. If you guys haven't noticed, they've already put in $400 billion into circulation. Now, you're going to ask yourself, wait, how is the US dollar maintaining the 103 strength? It's because the 2 trillion is still not injected yet from the reverse repo market. I'm going to continue my forecast on that. I have been watching it. When we first found it, it was about 2.289 worth of or it's or 2,200, or let's say $2,300 billion, which is basically 2.3. Let's call it $2.3 trillion was being locked up into that reverse repo market pool. Okay. Now keep in mind, we've been paying attention to it. And I think the last time I checked, it was, I think at 21 22 or something like that. And it's going to fluctuate up and down because keep in mind, as the rates go up in value, or let's say when the Fed issues out those rates, okay, it's collecting and harnessing that liquidity inside of that pool, okay? Now, keep in mind, the dollar is still going to crash because even if the rates now are 5%, the inflation rate is 6% and going higher. There's a variety of reasons why it's going to go higher. And it's not only because they're going to inject 2 trillion or more into circulation, but don't forget about how much money needs to be backstopped. Okay. This is a huge thing. You know, this is now, and I don't want you guys to quote me on this part. Okay. I do know about this other 2T injection. And in fact, I called the reverse repo market 2T injection before JP Morgan even talked about the 2T. But here's something I've been whiffing a little bit. So there is $18 trillion worth of a default that could potentially happen as these banks collapse. Okay, 18 trillion. Okay, FDIC insurance is only worth about 300 billion. Okay, so now you have 18 trillion and only 300 billion FDIC insurance. Okay, did you guys hear that? 18 trillion worth of a default that could happen in a banking crisis. Okay, and you got 300 billion FDIC insurance. If the Fed were to bail out the insurance policy plus all the banks, you're looking at roughly, and you know, look, don't quote me on this. I don't know. I have to see what happens. I mean, I'm watching, I'm paying attention, but I almost feel, and I don't know, I feel like they're about to create a tokenomics of the US dollar of 30 trillion. Right now, we have roughly, I think, just under $9 trillion worth of USD circulation throughout the world. But based on the banking crisis needing to be bailed out, which would take printing or QE or more dollars into circulation, not 2T. It's going to take a lot more than 2T. It's actually going to take, I would say, about 18T plus 2T. Okay. So if you put all that together, you're looking at 30 trillion worth of USD circulation about to impact the dollar value. So I'm still now, and keep in mind too, look, over a year and a half ago, when I was talking to you guys about Japan liquidating its bonds and all the other central banks liquidating its bonds, hurting the value of the dollar, crashing, you know, the dollar eventually, I had a variety of different reasons as to why the dollar was going to crash. I talked to you guys about every which way I knew that the dollar could or will crash. Okay. And as we unfold, it's starting to get really, really accurate. Now, I wasn't anticipating the banking crisis. I mean, we kind of knew an idea of what was going on, but I didn't know the magnitude of how much USD was on the line to be added into circulation. So you got to think about it. We're going to be going from 9 trillion in circulation to 30 trillion. Okay. So we're looking at a dollar crash. Okay. We're in a liquidity crisis. And clearly the Fed needs to add the liquidity. Okay, so if they do add the liquidity, then you are going to look at roughly bailing out the insurance policy, the banks, and the 2T for the other banks. You're looking at 30 trillion, okay? That's going to greatly impact the dollar. And I don't know how fast this is going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen over the course of quarters or what have you. But still, I'm still forecasting 75 cents to 8, I would say 75 cents-ish for the US dollar by the time everything is said and done when this dollar does crash. Now, a lot of people think when the dollar crashes, it's going to go to zero, but I'm still anticipating 30 to 40% from ATH. ATH was $1.14 last year. You know, so I'm still anticipating that. Now, keep in mind about these interest rates. The bonds, okay, when you guys were watching the bond yields go up in value, when it was going to 3 to 4% to almost 5%, it still didn't supersede the inflation rate. Okay. So if inflation's 6% and you have almost 18T on the line that's supposed to go in, or let's just say, you know, I doubt it, but let's say if it's just 2 trillion that's going to be added into circulation, I don't think it's going to be 2 trillion. I think it's going to be 18 trillion, to be honest with you guys. But we'll save that idea for when it happens. Okay. But you know, when the investors are looking at both their principal being destroyed by inflation and the yield, because keep in mind, if the yield is only 5% on bonds, okay, well, now it's like 3 or 4%, whatever. But let's just say if yield does not supersede the inflation rate that's 6% and about to go higher for the 2T. Okay, so that's 2T or the 18T or the debt ceiling being eliminated or raised by June. Okay, what the government is going to do is inflate debt away, and they cannot do anything else. Governments are the same shit, the different names. They do the same things, different strategies, but it always equals out to the same thing when they borrow too much money. When governments borrow too much money, they're going to inflate the debt away by utilizing or leveraging inflation and deflation to pay off massive amounts of the debt deficit. Now, how are they going to do this? How? They're going to do it by diluting the currency. And what are we hearing about? What are we hearing about? We're hearing about diluting the currency with 2 trillion as of right now. But by the time this banking crisis continues, you're looking at, I'm going to say it, 18 more trillion dollars. So a total circulation of $30 trillion is what I'm seeing. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I'm thinking. Okay. But either way, at the end of the day, if you're an investor, okay, and you're holding US dollars, US bonds, treasuries, it's debt, US dollar debt, okay, government debt. That's what it is. If you are an investor, and it doesn't matter what type of investor you are, any investor can agree with me on this. If you are holding an asset that inflation is eating the principal, it's eating your yield, what are you going to do? You're going to sell it. You're going to sell it, especially if you're a central bank from another currency system like the yen, the yuan, the ruble, the euro, the pound, which they all have been doing. Guess what they've been doing? They've been looking at the same things that you guys are looking at, the same thing that I'm talking about. They're saying, well, the dollar is overvalued. It's deflated at 103. Why am I going to hold on to this asset when I could get the money now? I could probably sell at a loss, but it's better than watching this thing crash. It's better than letting inflation kill my principal, kill my yield. You know, it's better than all of these things. Plus, my economy, the people I'm supposed to take care of, the people my loyalty is to, like let's say the Bank of Japan, you know, they look at the yen, they, you know, China looks at the yuan, you know, all these other countries, you know, whatever it may be, euro, pound, whatever. Those central banks are looking at their currencies start to crash based on the weight of the US dollar. So what are they going to do? They're going to dump the dollar and they're going to swap liquidity in order to defend their pegs. It works no differently with the stable coins. However, the stable coins are another reason I've brought up to you guys as to why the dollar will probably crash even further, because as the stable coins are being liquidated right now, and they are, and they will be, and they are not safe. Stable coins are not self-custody. I'm going to repeat that again. Stable coins are not self-custody. Self-custody is buying a real asset and shipping it out, getting it off exchanges and calling it a day. ETH, Bitcoin, you know, whatever other tokens you guys like. You guys already know the ones I like. I like ArcBlock, ABT, BLZ, Bluezil, Parsec, PRQ, Jasmy. I like LCX. I like MCO2 now. Dragon Chain. I don't know if I didn't say that. But again, you know, and I heard a lot of things from some of you guys that were saying, oh, you know, Dion, I'm a little bit scared because the volumes are bad. The volumes, I'm scared about delisting. I'm scared about volumes. Do not make a rookie mistake, because when I hear somebody tell me that, I know for a fact this is your first bull cycle. I know for a fact if somebody is talking to me about low volume right now, if somebody is talking to me or scared about low volume or, you know, low traction on any token right now, okay, and you're scared about that, this is probably your first bull cycle. And I get that. You're a rookie. You probably just started. But if you've been here like me for the past few bull cycles, you'll understand it's like a fucking switch. You could be looking at $50,000 to $100,000 worth of volume. And, you know, I'll tell you a little bit more about volume in a little bit. You guys are going to probably be upset when I tell you this, but, you know, put it this way. The volume that you see today, the volume you saw 6 months ago or 3 months ago, is a night and day difference between a bear cycle and a bull cycle. Okay. And for those of you that have been with me through a few bear cycles or a couple of bull cycles or whatever the case may be, you'll understand the volumes change by a lot. Do they not? Okay. So guys, don't make that rookie mistake. Do not base your positions on volumes, because volumes, first of all, are fake. Every volume you see on any coin is fake. All of them. Every exchange has trading bots. They have market makers. They could go up, they could go down, they could trade up a pick, they could trade down a pick, and they're there to keep the chart alive. And, let's say if there was no such thing as trading bots, no market makers, you guys would see the chart move like this. And it would take time between the two. So I'm telling you, volume is fake, whether it's big, whether it's small. But at the end of the day, as we move forward into the bull cycle, the volumes you see today are going to be substantially different, and you're not going to believe your eyes. In fact, a lot of coins, and like let's use Parsec as an example, or Arc Block, or whatever it may be, LCX. Guys, I don't know when you guys started, but back in my day, okay, back in my day, for you little whippersnappers that don't listen, okay, back in my day, we didn't have exchanges. We had DeFi exchanges. We didn't have centralized exchanges. We had to put on our big boy pants, and we had to go get DeFi wallets from whatever ecosystem it catered to. And then we had to go Uniswap or Pancake Swap for whatever pick that we wanted. And we used to buy those coins, and they would scale very high. In fact, Parsec never was not listed anywhere. In fact, it barely had any volume. But after its development, and this is kind of why I like it too. I bought Parsec way back in the day before it had a single exchange, and it went up to roughly $2. So now that it's on tier 1 exchanges, it's going to explode. Okay, that's my hypothesis. Okay, but again, look, guys, you got to make your own bets based on your own experience, or however long you've been in here. But look, I've been in several, or a few cycles. I've been in several cycles in markets in general. But guys, you have to go based on what is comfortable for you at all times. If you don't feel a certain way, then you got to do something else or whatever. But unfortunately, I'm just going to hit you with the truth here. If you talk to me about volumes between today and a bull cycle, this is probably your first bull cycle. That's what it sounds like to me, because nobody that's been through one bull cycle or two or three or whatever the case would never say that. They would never say, yeah, well, Dion, I'm a little bit scared about the volume right now. I don't know if it's going to do good in the bull cycle. Huh? What? Parsec never used to be on an exchange, okay? Parsec just got listed in July of 2022 on Coinbase, along with ArcBlock. Both were listed for free by Coinbase. ArcBlock was listed in July of 2022, right after they were approved by CERN and W3C. These are the authoritarians of the internet. So the internet that you're using right now, the authoritarians of it, the people that regulate the internet, they're the ones that approved ArcBlock's DID core recommendation. And 3 days later, they got listed for free by Coinbase on ArcBlock. So and to be honest with you guys, ArcBlock, you have OKX, you have BitGet, you have Coinbase, you have BitTrue. There's a variety of different exchanges that a lot of these picks are on. If I were you guys, I would take a look at livecoinwatch.com or coingecko.com. Take a look and scroll down and take a look at the different exchanges they're on. Now, mind you, exchanges really don't matter to me. I mean, for instance, for those of you guys that are brand new to crypto, you're probably a little bit more centralized exchange using. But for me, I only use exchanges, and I want to say I use about 12 different exchanges right now. I used to use 15 of them. But the only reason why I use an exchange is for an on and off ramp. That's the only reason why I use an exchange. But for the majority of what I like to do is I rather DeFi swap, or let's say if there's a better way, like if I wanted to buy ArcBlock, I'm not going to use Uniswap. I'm not going to use Coinbase Wallet. I'm going to use Coinbase Pay. Or, I might do a limit order on Coinbase or something like that, and then I'll ship it out. But you could buy ArcBlock directly off of ArcBlock itself. You don't have to use the exchange. So these are just little different tips and tricks. Not everything is about price go up, price go down. You sometimes being successful in this industry is about saving money. Sometimes it's about learning how to utilize different on and off ramps, learning how to use different DeFi wallets to save money. And wealth retention is very important, guys. It's not everything is about price up, price down. It's about saving money. It's about not getting rugged. It's about, and mind you, we've all been through them, but at the end of the day, there's more to this game than just price up, price down, and volume and cap and all that stuff. There's just different things. So again, guys, look, if you guys like what you're watching or whatever, please like the video for us here at MYC. And if you're interested in talking to me every day, or you want to get alerts from us every day, or whatever the case, or keep to the pulse of the market with us, don't forget, we talk about stocks, precious metals, crypto. We talk about a variety of different things. There's different servers inside of OddApp. OddApp is a application that we built ourselves. I built it, okay? We put it on Apple and Google, okay? So I know you guys know a lot of different people out there in the crypto sector, and I know there's a lot of great experts out there. I know there's a lot of people that want to learn about crypto, but if you want to learn with us, okay, I would love for you guys to support us. We don't have a Patreon. We don't have, any of this other stuff. What we have is an application that we built. We built software, okay? It's called OddApp. And ODD, it stands for on-demand data, okay? Because not everyone in the world has time to watch videos hours and hours long, right? So our whole business model is based on delivering data faster, putting it in your face faster. You could talk to somebody. You have human customer service. These are certain things that I put to the forefront of what we do here, okay? So if you want to support us here at MYC, or you want to support me, go and get your phone, okay? You're going to grab your phone, and you're going to say, well, let's find out if Dion is real. Let's find out if MYC is real, because I heard from that guy he's not a good guy. Or I heard from that guy they don't do anything. I heard from that guy he's not a real builder. Okay, well, you're going to take your phone out. You're going to take your phone out, whether it's an Apple or it's a Google phone, and you're going to go to your app store, okay? And you're going to look up ODD app, and you're going to find MYC Network. It's $23 USD a month subscription. We talk about a variety of different topics there. We stick to the pulse of the market. And, of course, everybody has a ton of different picks and all that stuff. And we love hearing about you guys. We love seeing the reviews. We like, reviewing different picks and all that stuff. We love hearing about all that stuff. But at the end of the day, there is so much more to learn about than just picks when it comes to finance. You need to learn so much more to understand what you're doing. Okay. It's not just about, you being a random guy out there. Well, this pick is popular, so I want to talk about it. No, it's about learning multiple asset classes, precious metals, stocks, crypto. You want to learn about the banking system. You want to learn about the bond market. You want to learn about these yields. You want to learn about different fiat currency systems, especially for you guys that are on YouTube, for our content creators, or for content creators in general that are out there. If you understand that you're getting on TV or you're getting on a screen and talking about finance, don't you think that you should be aware that you're talking to an international audience? Every audience that you speak to is from a different country. They have different fiat systems. So, for instance, there was a time where people that were utilizing the euro and the pound to buy crypto or to buy stocks or to buy whatever, it was not a good time. There was actually a good time to buy them, because remember when the euro and the pound was well above their pegs. They were above the $1.15, $1.20. They were well above their pegs. They were 130. They were higher. Okay. Same thing with the US dollar. I told you guys when the dollar was at 114, I was like, utilize your buying power now, because this is the biggest buying power we're going to have, because we're not going to enjoy it. Now, in the first and second quarter of 2022, what happened? The euro and the pound crashed. The yen was also crashing. These are certain things that you have to understand, because these are also margin levels. If you know your currency is about to collapse, for instance, like the dollar right now, the dollar is clearly going to take tremendous impact to the buying power. So at this point, I'm trying to buy as much as I can with the buying power that I have right now, because the buying power right now is not going to last. We are watching the dilution of our currency before your eyes, okay? We have $2 trillion worth of USD about to be injected into circulation. If you're holding a token right now, that has a 1 billion coin cap, and the admin comes out and says, well, guys, we're going to do an upgrade. We're going to add 2 trillion coins to the circulation. What do you think is going to happen to the price? It's going to crash, okay? So for you bears out there that think, or let's say for the bears out there that are utilizing USD, the buying power you have right now is not going to last. You think it's going to be at 103 for long? No, I don't think so. You have 2 trillion about to be injected. Okay. You have a bond market crisis happening right now. Okay. When the yields were going up, that was an indicator. When the yields were going up on bonds, that was an indicator that they needed liquidity. Okay, because the bond market works a lot similar to the staker tokens. So some of the staker tokens, when they first get listed or they first launch, what do they all do? Or the stable coins or whatever, what do they all do? They say, well, if you come stake with us, we'll give you 50% APY in tokens. We'll give you 100% APY in tokens, because they're trying to attract liquidity. They're trying to attract investors. Well, the bond market works no different. When the yields go up, that means that they're trying to attract liquidity because they don't got enough. So the yields going up is a reflection of the bond market saying, hey, I need liquidity. So again, right now, the US dollar is 103.12. Watch gold. Okay, so you watch gold, because let's say if gold is still rising, let's say for instance, while the dollar is going up, that means that gold is bottomed, and that could be a reflection of other assets. There's different indicators you have to take a look at. But again, look, we have $2 trillion that is for sure going to enter into circulation. With all these other banks collapsing, what I see happening more than anything is 18 trillion being needed. Because think about it. If you have $18 trillion worth of default, or $18 trillion worth of a backstop that needs to happen for these other banks from collapsing, you're going to need to add more liquidity. You're going to have to print. You're going to have to add more dollars into circulations. So you think about it, if you have 18 trillion worth of defaults that could happen, you only got 300 billion worth of FDIC insurance, you only got 2 trillion of extra money, you're going to need extra money. So look, we know 2 trillion is about to enter into circulation. So I do see the dollar, taking impact from that. But what else I see is 18 trillion that could be added. So we'll see what happens. I wanted to say it because I want to see if I'm right. But I do anticipate $30 trillion worth of circulation being added. I'm going to go through your comments in a couple seconds. And we'll just kind of see from there. Let me go through your comments real quick. And again, guys, look, if you like what you're watching, support us. Would love to see you on ODAP. If you can't do that, look, at least press the like button for us. For years, for over 3 years since we started, we have not had commercials on YouTube. So guys, definitely support us. Tomo says it's MYC. Reef Guzzler says, yo, yo, yo. That Knock Life says, put your burkas on now. Backpacks will be left in the streets. Low Wank says, there you are. Missed you, bro. Yeah, absolutely. Look, guys, look, if you miss me, talk to me every day on ODAP. That's where I'm at. Every single day, I'm on ODAP. That's where you're going to find me. I don't have Discord. I don't have anything. Okay. The only things I use right now are Twitter. I use my IG, and my IG is about to be deleted, but I only use Twitter, my IG, and ODAP. That's it. The only places you're going to find me. If you want to talk to me every day, or you want to have instant access to me, it's on ODAP. You can talk to me there. We have voice there and also text, stuff like that. But yes, would love to see you guys. Christoph says that Knock Life's ropes will 1000x. Don't forget. Dave's not here says ropes and Lambos will be impossible to find. Shortages are coming. Yeah, absolutely. Tuna says, let's go. Trisha, one of my favorite finance bitches out there. Thank you for being one of the best teachers. Miss the pretty face. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really try to keep it young. But crypto is really taking a toll on me. Mark says, yeah, I remember Dion's bomb warning, and BTC was 20K just one day after BT pumps parabolic, and the dollar didn't even crash yet. I know, exactly. But see, here's the thing. So the monetary system is elastic. Okay. The monetary system's elastic. And remember what they're saying to you guys, okay? Hear what they're saying, okay? Don't just hear liquidity crisis, okay? Don't just hear the Kool-Aid words, okay? Drop the Kool-Aid, okay, for half a second. Listen to the real things of what they're saying. We're in a liquidity crisis. We need more dollars. There's a shortage of dollars. That means compression is happening. That means that scarcity is happening. So what happens when there's scarcity? Demand goes up. What happens after demand goes up? The dollar goes up in value. And when the dollar goes up in value, what does it do? It hurts banks. It hurts other economies. It hurts trade deficits. It hurts everything when scarcity happens. And they say, we need this, we need that, because it's hurting the market. It's hurting this. That's what's happening. So a strong dollar is bad for the markets. It's bad for different countries. So you have to think about, you hear that, okay? So we have a scarcity, we have liquidity crisis. So the dollar is compressing, going up in value, and the dollar is elastic. So what they're saying is we need to ease the dollar. We need to stretch the dollar. If we stretch the dollar, we add liquidity, we add circulation, we could thin the dollar out. Like these, you have to hear what they're saying, hear what they're saying. And if you guys don't get it yet, just rewind this part like 3 minutes back. Keep hearing what I'm telling you, because it's a reflection of tokenomics. It's a reflection of supply and demand. It's all the same thing, okay? I'm trying to get you guys to hear what they're really saying. Okay, so just because the dollar is going up doesn't mean anything yet. It's just telling you the process of what's happening. The dollar is compressing and it's hurting people. So they're going to say, we need to add more money into the circulation so we can thin the dollar out, you know? So that's why you get into assets, because when you get into assets, when the dollar is compressed, you're getting more asset for less dollars because the dollar is strong. So when they add money into circulation, that's when the assets go up in price because the dollar buys less. Think about it, okay? So keep rewinding that little part, this last 120 seconds or whatever, and really get what they're saying to you. Don't just hear the rhymes. Don't just hear the Kool-Aid that you hear every day, the reruns on this platform. You know, don't just hear the reruns, okay? Hear what they're saying to you, okay? Because there's a difference between Kool-Aid and economics. And the dollar hasn't crashed yet. What's going with the dollar? What's going to happen when the dollar actually crashes? So when the dollar actually crashes, assets are going to go through the roof. That's what's going to happen. Daniel says, hit that goddamn like button. Don't forget. Legacy says, help me make sense of ABT circulating supply versus total supply. So circulating supply is tokens that are available. So circulation, so whatever's in circulation is available in the market, or it's out there. You know, there's people that have it. There's people that are swapping it and using it. That's your circulation. The rest is locked. You know, well, it's not like, you know, like locked, but you know, it's in a wallet somewhere or whatever the case. Admins have it, or maybe the company has it or whatever. And that's for any token. If there's this much in circulation, that means how much is into the market. Okay. And total supply is just your cap. So if ARC block has 186 million coin cap, so that's total cap. Okay, so that's fixed supply. ARC block only has 186 million coin cap. And legacy, there's never a problem with you asking me a question. And I tell people on OddApp, guys, I'm going to deliver data as I deliver data every day. But at the same time, you know, it's your job to ask a question. You guys, it's okay to ask a question if you have, except for JP Morgan, whoever that account is in there. He's always, you know, he always asks me every day, you know, win horse, you know, and I keep telling him Q3. But, you know, Solrak says, has he talked about Core yet? No, I haven't talked about Core yet, and I don't like Core. I never have. I think it's bullshit that they've minted 3 coins in under a year. I don't like that at all. And I think Solo is a complete waste of time now. You know, I was really excited for it. You had all these great ideas and they just, you know, left it. So I don't trust that team anymore, and I've moved on. We're going to focus on LCX for the tokenization of ETFs now. So I'm going to be going towards LCX, if anything, for that. It's one of my positions, but not the biggest. But I do like LCX, and they're positioned better for tokenizing ETFs. They have regulatory clarity. They're not parading around minting a bunch of coins. They're not parading around doing this and doing that, listing. Like LCX is actually getting regulatory clarity. They're actually doing things to push the project forward. Okay. It's funny. It's like we went from with Solo, we went from tokenizing ETFs to, oh, I bought a mansion. Oh, and now, you know, now we have another coin, and you have 2 more coins being minted. Now there's 3 coins, and now you got to do this. Now you got to do that. Like we're going to bridge this place. We're going to list here. What happened to the goal of the project? You know, listings and bridging, that has nothing to do with shit. Has nothing to do with shit. What happened to the actual goal? So I don't trust him. I don't trust that team. I think they're full of shit. I'm done. So we're moving on completely from that. You got good luck. I wish all the success to you, but I think I'm going to find, and mind you, look, I don't think LCX will be the only company to tokenize ETFs. I think there's going to be a variety of different companies that do it. No different than E-Trade and Robinhood and, you know, whatever, you know, but based on regulatory clarity, based on business and not emotion, LCX is probably going to be the first company to do it. So I'm going to go for LCX on that. The cap is I think 950 M cap on that. Gabe says MYC. Trisha says Viva la MYC. Run up, get done up says, I remember Dion told me use my USD at 114. Absolutely. And I did. Best bottoms ever. Absolutely. Michael says, after your work on Odd App, it's much more smoother and faster. Good job, bro. Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's what's awesome, guys. You know, you guys are, you know, and I thank a lot of you. You know, I love a lot of you. I thank a lot of you for the support. You know, I work on it every day. You know, when we first launched Odd App in December, it was kind of clunky. I mean, now we're still, you know, I'm kind of OCD when it comes to anything I do. You know, when I want to do something, like I really want to make it right, I want to build it, I get addicted to it, you know. And I'm putting a lot of money into it. Every month I'm putting money back into my app to get it to the next level. I want it to really run as smooth as possible and stuff like that. So sometimes, you know, we'll have to down the app for, you know, X amount of hours, 3 hours or whatever, just to upgrade it or, you know, make performance go faster. And I'm happy you guys get to see the inner workings because I like sharing that with you. I like sharing with you guys, like the things I go through when I'm upgrading the app or I'm, you know, showing you guys performance levels from, you know, December versus now, or, you know, whatever the case. So I'm happy a lot of you guys have noticed how faster it's running and, you know, all these different things. And it's going to get better. You know, every month I like literally guys, like seriously, I'm not kidding. Every month I put money back into this thing. And I didn't, you know, to be honest, I had no idea. I thought when you make something like this or you code something, like it's done, but no, it's not. Like there's always like something you got to handle, or you need to upgrade this part, or like maybe you spot something that you want to make faster, you know. It's addicting. It's really addicting. I don't know if any of you guys have ever played with Legos or you ever played with, you know, anything that is meticulous or whatever, you kind of, you know. But yeah, you know, thank you for that, bro. I appreciate that. I'm always happy when you guys notice little improvements, stuff like that. Cause I put a lot of money into this and I really, every month I reinvest money into it to make it better because this is our place. No, this is like Odd App is ours. Odd App is our place. Okay. We are decentralized. We don't collect people's data. This is our spot, you know, and that's what I love about it. It has AES military grade encryption. You can't screenshot in it. Like it is it's our military graded encryption level app. Okay. When you guys go to Facebook, you guys go to Instagram, Telegram, there's people mining your data. There's a bunch of stuff going on, not on our app. This is our app, you know? So I really like that, you know, we have what we have, you know, it's never been done in this sector. You know, a lot of guys in this sector, they go and buy Lambos, they buy big ass houses with all the money they make, but they don't build anything for the sector. And I'm proud to say that MYC built something that our people, our community use every single day. We use Odd App. Where do you hear that? Brian the Nickel says ABT will shine this bull run. Take that shit to the bank. Yeah, Arc Block, I'm extremely excited about. Robert just got back from Asia. He just won a My Data Award performance. Like I think I'd have to read the tweet off the top of my head, but basically it's like data privacy and another DID award. So I would check that out on his Twitter account. But, you know, he's definitely out there busting his ass every day. I really like that. And don't forget, guys, he's part of the WTIA. He's the steering member of Cascadia Blockchain Council. That's in Washington, Seattle, Washington, like in this country, Seattle, Washington. You could go to his office, you know, if you're out there. But again, guys, you know, this is what it's all about. You know, it's about getting into companies before the masses do. It's about getting to places that are going to be popular later. Whatever's popular right now is saturated. You have to think, if you're an investor, you have to be futuristic. So, you know, whenever I'm picking out anything, or, you know, and you guys have your own plays, you guys have your own things that you like, and I have things I like too. You know, see, this is what I like about MYC. We're decentralized. We don't all just buy the same shit. Like a lot of you guys bring up, I think, the newest one that you guys brought up, a shout out to Alexander and Gomes and forget the other guy's name. You were talking about ODog or whatever. It was like Bitcoin's first meme coin or whatever the case, or I don't know what. I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't get any, but, you know, still. I'm excited about Dragon Chain. If you guys didn't notice, the more and more scrutiny that's going on between Coinbase and the agency there, You guys notice that Dragon Chain keeps popping up? I'm telling you, and the guy, I mean, think of the CEO worked with Coinbase when it first started. Okay. Worked with Disney. He's worked with, that jet company. I forget I would check out dragonchain.com. I really like those guys. I'm going to get more interviews going, but I just been so busy, guys. Like I really have, I've been really busy. A lot of stuff has been going on in the market. So I'm really trying to hammer in, like, where is this going? How is this happening? And, the truth be told, people, like, put it this way, guys, MYC is not ran on sensationalism or anything like that. When I come in, I want to deliver the right data, important data, and move on. Again, there's actually no reason for there to be a video every single day. Financial analytics are like futuristic. When you make a real financial analysis, or if you make a forecast, your forecast typically lasts 6 months or a year. Sometimes I mean, think about it. Guys, for those of you that have been with us for a while, remember when I was talking about Japan dumping bonds, and I talked to Kathy Wood and all that other stuff. That was October of 2022. Okay. And then when we first talked about it was in December, January of 2021 and January of 2022. And I talked about bonds being an issue, and now they are an issue, but that was a year ago. So think about that. That's why I tell you guys, like, when you make a real financial analysis, or if you make a forecast, and I'm never afraid to be wrong. I love owning what I say, because I want to know if I am right. And I really want to own that, because that's glory. And if I'm wrong, okay, so what? Everyone's going to make a forecast, but I like our accuracy. I think we've done really well. But again, you make a forecast, it could last six months, it could last a year, because it's going to be the same process. The financial system moves very slow. That's what's funny when you run into somebody that's like, win moon, win moon, win moon. But it was like, bro, it's no different than the stock market. I'm like, yeah, crypto moves in big swings, but like it still takes time. I mean, every Bitcoin halving is 4 years. And here's another thing. A lot of bears can't get over it. It's like Bitcoin halving is 2024. For you to be sidelining yourself, holding the debt bomb, holding the fiat that's going to crash. And you could be talking about any fiat, not just the dollar, but you could be talking about any fiat. You're holding the bomb. So when this thing when it busts, it's busting now, you're going down and assets are going to go up. That's the problem. See, a lot of bears think market down, I could get in. No, sir. You're going down. You're going to hold the bomb and you're going down in assets. So I like to tell people like this, look, here's the dollar. Okay. Let's say this is the dollar. This phone is the dollar. Here's the asset. The asset, let's say the asset's 10 cents right here, and the dollar is 103. When it crashes, this is what's going to happen. The dollar's going to go down, the asset's going to hedge, and it's going to cost more money. That's what's going to happen. So I keep telling you guys, like, the strategies of a bear, are foolish. They try to wait for that big dip, like, no, you should be collecting all this time while you have the buying power, because it's not going to last. Scooter Scott says, get in odd app, guys. Brian says, win core or win XX core and XXXX core. Yeah, I know. The guy's his own minting press. How many coins is he going to mint? Brandon says, oh man, I'm late to the live stream, but not buying more art block. Dave says, Lockheed Martin. Yeah, Lockheed Martin is a aircraft company that Dragon Chain CEO worked with, along with Coinbase and along with Disney as well too. Not all together, but like separately and stuff like that. But again, these are companies that are popping up more and more. And that's what's funny. A lot of people, and see, what the best thing I love about being an investor personally, I don't know about you guys, but my personal favorite thing about being an investor is basically like, first you sound dumb, or first, a hater is not going to give you credit or, whatever, because you're more successful than them or whatever, and maybe you might look dumb at first because you're buying something nobody wants at this time. But then you'll see that they will buy those things later on. You know what I mean? Because as you guys could see, as the XRP case keeps getting more and more clout, you'll notice that Library Coin, Dragon Chain start coming up more. and it's just going to create a new wave in the bull cycle. So it's, it's really good to kind of get going on that. But anyways, guys, look, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I wanted to make this one short and to the point. I will catch you guys on OddApp. I hope to find you there. And, if anything, you could always find me on Twitter as well. I like to play on Twitter. Eventually, it depends on where we are and stuff like that. But eventually, the only place you're going to be able to find me is on OddApp. Eventually, I'm going to have streaming services on OddApp. Eventually, I'm not going to need Twitter. I'm not going to need YouTube. I'm not going to need anything. We're just going to have OddApp and everything else we build on top of it. And that's coming very soon. Everything is already in the works. It's just a process. But as you can see, guys, we've done, so much more than a lot of people that pretend they know what they're doing, pretend to be experts, pretend to be all these things, but they've never built anything that MYC has done. And that's the best part about our community. Our community doesn't talk. Our community doesn't talk shit. Our community builds. And that's the big difference in this sector. When you come to this sector, you're going to find two different people: shit talkers and builders. And the builders build, and the builders have real products, and the real products that are viable. And you're going to have a bunch of shit talkers that don't do anything but talk shit. So guys, you're going to be the person that's going to choose between failure and success. So, guys, do your own research. I hope you guys do really well out there. I'll try to make another video sometime. But there's just a lot of work to be done. I'm very happy with you guys. I'm happy with our community. I mean, you guys make me proud every single day. Like, I think now we have probably, since the last time we talked, like literally like 11 days ago or whatever, we've taken in probably over 15 builders now from different ecosystems. We got 2 new admins from different ecosystems. We have more developers. We have different coders from different ecosystems now. Like, it is over. Like, the fact that we have so many different types of people, like we have investors, admins, developers, builders, like we have all these different types of people congregating. And, it's just surreal to see like MYC just like decentralize into something else, and that's what I really love about what we got going on. Dave just brought up Evergrande just went to 0. That is very bullish news. Evergrande, I felt they were going to do a currency swap or a debt swap eventually. But Evergrande has $305 billion worth of US dollar debt. And I felt like what they were going to do is default on the US dollar debt and then just currency swap to the yuan or something. I'll have to learn about that as we go further. But, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I will see you guys on OddApp. Don't forget. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. 95% down. Wow. All right, guys, take care.